Hey everyone, and welcome to my podcast slash Facebook Live here. It is my first podcast ever, so this is episode number one. I am so excited for you guys to be here with me for episode number one. Episode number one is going to be about accountability. And that is something that I think that is so hard for us to understand sometimes and figure out, and then also kind of setting priorities. So we're going to get that accountability in. We're also going to be setting those priorities and we're going to go from there. Okay. So what I wanted to start off with first is kind of giving you guys a definition or a quote that I love for accountability. So accountability is the glue that ties commitment to the result. This is from Bob Proctor. I want to repeat that again. So accountability is the glue that ties commitment to the results. So that's what I want you to think about when we're thinking about being accountable, setting goals, setting our priorities, all of those kind of things. Think about it as the glue. If we're accountable, that glue is going to hold it all together. If we are not accountable, it's going to make it fall all apart. So let's think about that as we go through today. Another one is personal accountability requires mindfulness, acceptance, honesty, and courage. That is from Shelby Martin. And that is something that is huge. One thing that acceptance is big, right? To accept the fact of what you can do and what you can't do and accept that. Also being honest with yourself. Are you going to set amazing, crazy, intense goals? Are you going to be honest with yourself and think about the goals that you really can accomplish? While you are trying to accomplish these goals, are you going to truly get them done, or are you going to lie about it and cheat or say, oh, I don't need to tell anybody that I didn't get that done or whatever? Are you going to be honest with yourself and say, you know what, I ate that, two pieces of pizza yesterday, which I probably shouldn't have, but today I'm going to start over and do well? So that is just something. Accountability requires mindfulness, acceptance, honesty, and courage. It does require courage, because we can go through our day without being accountable to anyone or anything and just go and do whatever we want to do. But it is a courageous thing to say, you know what, hey, I'm going to stop and now I'm going to actually be accountable to myself and to others. Okay. So let's talk about accountability. Is understand and accept consequences of your actions and assume the responsibility for those. So when we make ourselves accountable, we understand that whatever we decide to do, whatever we decide to choose, there is going to be a consequence of some sort, or there could be a consequence of some sort. And we have to understand and take knowledge of that. But also, when we make ourselves accountable, there could be a very positive thing that happens at the end, and there is no consequence. So that's something else to kind of think about. And I want you guys to kind of think about on your own, like, what is your definition of accountability? And what do you think about that? So now let's kind of talk about, setting goals, setting priorities, setting those things, because, well, we want to be accountable, but in order to be accountable, you have to be accountable to something. You have to figure out what you dream of and what you want. And at this time, I want to talk about, you can be just a little bit selfish. I know that most of us aren't used to that. Most of us don't understand that meaning. We're always like, I've got to be there for others. I've got to do everything for others. And that's where your life is. And that's understandable. That's what we grew up knowing. That's just who we are as people, right? We want to do things for others. We want to be there for others. But there's a little bit of time where we can actually be just a little bit selfish. And here's the cool thing, is it can be just a temporary selfishness, right? It doesn't have to be forever and ever and ever and ever that you're going to be doing something that may be, a little bit selfish. And we're going to talk about really what selfish means. Selfish is really taking care of yourself, and some people take that as a bad thing when it's really not a bad thing. So what I want us to start thinking about is, what are your non-negotiables? So when you're setting priorities and you're wanting to stay accountable to them, what is something that you think of as a non-negotiable? Now, that can be something like, hey, I'm going to make sure that you know, I work out every single, or, 5 days a week. That is going to be a non-negotiable. That is going to be something that I know that I need, something that I want to do, and I am going to do everything in my power to make that happen. So you need to set non-negotiables. You need to think about, if health is going to be one of your top priorities to stay accountable to. If your health, I want to be healthier. I want to feel better in my skin. I want to, be there more for my kids. If health is one of your top priorities, then you've got to think under those priorities, what are you going to make non-negotiables? Like, again, are you going to say, hey, I want to make sure that I get an hour workout 2 to 5 days a week? That's going to be a non-negotiable no matter what. That is what I'm going to try to make happen. Everything else is going to kind of go to the wayside. Another non-negotiable could be, I'm going to, eat healthy 5 days out of the week. I'm going to prepare my meals. I'm going to be doing these things for that time period. That's another non-negotiable, and whatever it takes for me to be there, that's what I'm going to do. So you've really got to kind of think of non-negotiables, and those are things, again, that are going to help you reach those goals. They're not anything extravagant, they're not anything crazy. They are literally non-negotiables that will get you to your goal. And again, you can be slightly selfish during this time to set those goals, set those priorities, and say, what are my non-negotiables now to get there? What are things that I have to do to get there? You are going to have to start eating healthier, right? That's one of the goals. That's one of the things you have to do. So that can be one of your non-negotiables, and that can be something that has to fit in your schedule that day. And if that means pushing something else away, that's okay, because this is now your non-negotiable. Working out, non-negotiable. Eating healthy, non-negotiable. Um, Sleeping, 7 to 8 hours, trying to get that in, non-negotiable. All of these things, I want you to think about, what are my absolute non-negotiables, because I know what's going to get me to the finish line and where I need to be. So when you're establishing your goals, that's what you really need to think about. You can't just say, hey, I just want to be healthy today, or hey, I just want to, get healthier. That is not a good enough goal. You need to decide, hey, I want to get healthier, and the way that I'm going to get there is I'm going to actually set priorities, and I'm going to set non-negotiables. And those things are going to be followed pretty much no matter what. That's what a non-negotiable is. So I do want you to start thinking again about, what are my priorities? Is health your priority? Is family your priority? Is your job your priority? Is, our friendships your priority? Whatever you really, really, really want right now, whatever is something that you have desired and you want, that needs to be your priority. And then we need to set goals to get there. Then once you have those goals would need to turn into non-negotiables in order to hit the finish line. They have to be non-negotiables. They have to be done, and you've got to have the accountability to get there. And that is something that, if you just consider, hey, it's a non-negotiable, that can be accountability enough. Or sometimes you can have an accountability partner. Sometimes you can have a coach helping you every step of the way with that as well. So yeah, so establish goals that have priorities. So goals for the future are priorities now. So again, do we want to have 8 hours of sleep? Do we want to work out? Do we want to eat healthy? What are the things that we want to do? What are the things that you've been saying you want to do and you just haven't done? What are those things that you now want to say, hey, this is going to be now, first of all, a priority, and then it's going to turn into a non-negotiable. So now that I can reach my goals, and I'm going to stay accountable to my goals, and I'm going to stay accountable to my priorities, and I am going to get there no matter what. Okay. I want you to think about too, like, again, some of this sounds a little selfish, right? Like you're saying, okay, me, 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 me. But here's the deal. When it comes to your priorities, it is about you. Okay. And others are in your life too, but there's been so much time where we spend only focusing on others, and that is why our health goes to the wayside. That is why our fitness levels go to the wayside. That's why our healthy eating goes to the wayside, because we are taking care of everybody else, or thinking of everybody else, or we're working for our employer and they're, working us to death, and we don't have time for ourselves. Whether it's your family, whether it's your loved ones, whether it's a boss, whether it's whatever you're doing, whatever you are giving so much time to that you're not giving time to yourself, you need to really think about, hey, okay, I can take a little bit of time from those other aspects of my life and start thinking about myself. Now, of course, if you're only thinking about yourself and there's nobody else in your life, that can probably be feeling of being selfish. But when it comes to your health, there's really, really, really going to be a lot that I would have to look at to say, oh my gosh, that person is actually selfish, right? You should not feel selfish for saying, I'm going to make time for me. I'm going to make time for my workouts. I'm going to make time for my healthy eating. I'm going to make time for my self-care. I'm going to make time for things that are going to help me feel better And then again, in turn, you're going to be better for the others around you. I know that's a cliche sometimes, and people think, oh, whatever, whatever, whatever. But it is incredibly true that once you start taking care of yourself, once you start exercising, once you start eating right, once you start whatever your goals might be, once you start doing that, you feel better, you act better, and everything is better at that point. So that's something that if you haven't noticed before, you need to start noticing, because it's something that happens every single time. Basically, give yourself time too to think about what truly are my priorities. And that's why I think sometimes a lot of things fail when we set up priorities, like, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds by, January, or I want to do this, or I want to do that, or I want to do that. Those are, great goals to have or great priorities to have, but you're not really thinking about how to get there. You're not really taking time throughout the day to say, when am I going to fit in what I'm trying to fit in to get there? What am I going to plan to get there? You're not really doing that. You're just setting goals and saying, this is what I want to do. And a lot of times we just go to town. I mean, I've talked about this before, where you can just start off 100 miles an hour. You can say, I want to lose 20 pounds by January, and so I'm going to completely empty out my cupboard. I'm going to completely start this crazy HIIT training that's 6 days a week, and I'm going to do it every single day, and I'm going to drink, half my body weight of water. I'm going to, eat completely healthy. I'm going completely vegan, or completely this, or completely that. Something that is like 180 degrees from where you are now. Something that is like, I'm at 30 miles per hour and then I'm going to start going 90 miles per hour. Just think about those kind of priorities and goals and things like that. How are those going to last? We can't make something like that last, right? Your car can't last at 100 miles an hour for any length of time without things going wrong, without you running out of gas, without, whatever. It's just not going to work. So you've got to think about things that you can actually achieve and come up with a way to get there. But then also realize that, you need to set some realistic goals to be able to get there as well. So start thinking about what your goals are. And once you think of that priority, usually what I have my clients do is I say, let's set 3 priorities. Okay. So most are saying health is their top priority, because that's a lot what we lose, what we don't take care of, because we're taking care of so many others. Then, you can have family, you can have God, be at the very top. Whatever your top priorities are, you make 3 of them. Then from those 3, think about what your goals are to get there. Then think about what is going to be your non-negotiables during that time. And that is where accountability comes into play. Once you have non-negotiables, you have these things that are written down or in your mind or somewhere that you say, I'm going to do this, 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 this. That is when you can start really, really, really start seeing the results and start seeing that accountability, and start understanding that, again, you can have accountability partners, you can have a coach, you can have somebody that, can guide you kind of every single step of the way. But it's really something that is important to do. So I want to talk a little bit about, again, are you thinking about others and thinking, I can't do this? Are you saying, I've got a family, I've got my job, I've got this, I mean, 80, 90 hours a week, I'm doing all of this for everybody else. There's literally no time, Lori. There's just no time. Okay. Time is one of the huge, and I don't want to say it's an excuse by any means, because time is valuable and you can't get time back, and it is hard to find time to do everything in every day. But one thing that I like to think about when I think about time is, I like to think about, first of all, every single one of us has the same amount of time. Every single one of us has 24 hours in one day. Every single person has that. From me all the way up to, CEOs of $1 million companies, to all of these people that are, running multi businesses, and, to, movie stars who are all over the place doing this and this and that and this and that, to philanthropists, through all of these people, everybody has the same amount of time. Everybody's just setting a priority, though, for where they want their time, right? And everybody is saying, this is my priority. Those people doing the multi-million dollar companies and running all of these businesses, more than likely that is their priority, and that is one of their top priorities. And so they put most of their time towards that, because that's what they want, that's where they want to be. A lot of people, family is their top priority. Top, 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 top. Nothing is going to come before family. And that is great as well, to put your family first and to do everything for your family. And I remember a time where that was all I thought about when we had our hurricane and fire. And it was like, my family, I've got to take care of my kids. I've got to take care of my kids. I've got to make sure that they're happy. I need to do that. And that is okay. Okay. But again, it's not going to be 100% sustainable to say, I'm going to be there 100% for my job and not anything else, or I'm going to be there 100% for my family and not anything else. We need to think about being there for your family, being there, for your job, but then also making sure that you take time for yourself for other priorities that you may have. And there's so many clients that I talk to that have said, I have gone to the back burner, Lori. I am on the back burner because, of my job, because of my kids, because of my family, because of COVID, and because of all of these crazy things that have been going on in life. I have now decided I'm taking the back burner. And a lot of people are there. They take the back burner because a lot of times it's easier to do things for others too, right? It's easier to just say, I'm going to take care of others and I'm not going to take care of myself. Being accountable to somebody else, taking your kids here and there, your job, working, 90 hours a week to get things done. That is something that you can do. It's a task. It's something that, okay, I'm going to accomplish this. But somebody else has set that priority for you. Your boss has set that priority for you. Your kids, your family are setting those priorities for you. What can you do to actually set priorities for yourself? And again, you really need to dig deep. It's like, is your career and your job number one over your health? Then that's where you're going to spend the majority of your time. Is your family above your health? Is your job above your family? I mean, I do want you to really list, is God above all? Where are you at with your priorities? And then when you look at them, they can change too. So you don't have to feel guilty. What a lot of people do is they're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, family has to be one of my top priorities because I'm a mom and that's just how it has to be. And it's like, guess what? It really doesn't. Okay, you've done a lot for your kids and everything. What if you say for 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months, whatever the time might be, I'm going to set me as a priority? Is that going to hurt anybody? Is that going to be selfish? Is that going to be the wrong thing to do? It depends. I mean, I want you to think about that too. Like, if you set yourself as a priority and you say, I'm going to, because there's so many hours in the day, there's obviously somewhere that I'm going to have to take time from to where I can get, do self-care for me, to take care of me. I can work out, I can eat healthy, I can, make sure that I'm getting my exercise in when I need to. I can make sure that I'm relaxing when I need to. I can make sure that I'm sleeping, getting water, whatever. If health is your first priority and you want to take 12, 6 months to get healthier, why can't that be your top priority? Why can't you say, my health is my top priority right now? There's absolutely no reason you can't say that. It's not selfish. You shouldn't feel guilty and you shouldn't feel bad. And those in your life that surround you and support you, you might be surprised that they're really expecting you to do that. And they're actually going to be very happy that you do that. They're going to say, oh my gosh, look at mom, look at dad. They're going to work out. First of all, you're setting a very good example for your kids, because what you're doing is you're setting an example saying that it is important to take care of yourself. And that is a huge thing to share. That's a huge thing to pass down to your children, is that there is a place to take care of yourself, and to pass down to, even if you don't have children, to pass to your friends and your clients and people that are in your life. Once they start seeing you take care of themselves, they get a little bit like, whoa, that's really cool. How is she doing that? What is she doing? Nobody looks at you like, oh my gosh, you are such a selfish person. You are working out right now. You should be home, doing the dishes. You should be doing that. Nobody is thinking that other than you. And if they are, they probably shouldn't be in your inner circle anyways, right? They're going to mostly support you and want to help you get there. And there is nothing, when you've got 24 hours in a day, if 23 of the rest of those hours is taking care of everybody else and one of those hours is taking care of you, that's not a bad deal. Let's say, you're sleeping for 8. So 16 hours a day you have total. You take 1 for you and 15 for everything else that's going on. That's not bad odds, and that is not, absolutely not going to be selfish, right? So take that hour, whatever that hour means. Does it mean that you're going to start studying for something that you wanted? Like you've been wanting to have this new career and, you're like, when I was younger and, I may have not gone to college or may have not gone to college for what I wanted to go for. And now all of a sudden I want to go to college and do something special or different. Well, why can't you? I know there's not time, but why can't you say, no, I'm making time because this is a priority for me right now. I want to get that education. I want to get that degree. This is something that I'm doing for me because for 15 years, 20 years, I've been doing for everybody else. And this is what I want to do. There's absolutely no reason you can't do that. There's no reason that you can't take 1 to 2 hours a day out of the 16 hours that are available to accomplish that goal. Same thing goes for your health. Absolutely goes for your health. And then again, you're going to feel better for those that are around you. So your kids are going to see, hey, mom and dad, they're going to the gym now. They're eating healthier, which is going to kind of in turn go over to your kids eating healthier. They're going to start seeing healthy lifestyles. They're going to start seeing happier lifestyles. Because no matter what you do, when you exercise and when you're eating right, your mood is going to be uplifted. It's just something that happens. Now, does that mean it's going to be forever and you're going to feel great all the time and all of that kind of, we're going to have lollipops and rainbows? Absolutely not. But working out does lift your mood. There are endorphins. It's a scientific fact that endorphins and everything are going to help you feel better. Okay? So if I can go and work out and feel better and come home in a better state of mind to my family, to my kids, to my spouse, to my friends, to whatever, if I can come home in a better mood, who is that better for too? That's not just me that I'm doing this for. And that's again where I want you to get it out of your mind, or if it is in your mind of I'm being selfish because I'm taking care of myself. It's not. It is absolutely not. And I want everybody to feel good about, hey, this is where I'm at and this is what I want to do. And it's temporary. You don't need to say, I'm going to take care of myself, which you can. But at first you can look at it as a temporary thing. You can have, maybe you had a visit to the doctor and you didn't really like the results that you got. And the doctor said you're going to have to start doing some things. Do you think it's more important at that point to take care of your family and make sure that they're taken care of and take care of your work and take care of everything else that's going on? Do you think it's more important to put that first at that point? Or do you think it's more important to put you first at that point? Does your family need you? Does your family want you? Does your family want you around for a long time? Does your family care about you? And if they do, they're going to hear that doctor's report and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is a little bit scary. I want my mom, I want my dad, I want my sister, I want my brother, I want my friends to feel better. I don't want to lose them. So they're going to support you 100% of the way. Even if you do not have a doctor that says, you need to do this, even if it isn't something that is dire need, even if it isn't life or death situation, and it's something that you want to do. If it's something where you said, you know what, I have been struggling with my weight for years and years and years and years, and I'm just tired of it. I'm done. I'm tired of struggling with it. Tired of trying to figure things out. I'm tired of dieting. I'm tired of doing, all of these things and them not lasting and all of that stuff. I'm just tired of it. And you can get to that point to where you don't need a doctor's note to be tired of that. And to where you can start setting goals that you say, I've got these non-negotiables that I am going to do daily, weekly to get to my goal. My goal right now is my health. That's one of my top priorities in my life right now. I still love my family. I still love my kids. I still love my job. I still love everything. But right now I want to get healthy. And right now I want to dedicate time to getting healthy. And can you dedicate an hour out of the 16 that you're awake per day to get healthy? And again, health doesn't have to be your top priority. It could be meaning in life, like we talked about, like getting a job that you dream about, as opposed to I'm going to work every single day. This is what I'm doing. And I get a paycheck and it's fine or whatever. Is that fine? Or do you want something more? And if you do want something more, what are you doing to get there? And what else might need to be pushed to the side for literally, one, maybe at the most 2 hours a day to get to where you want to be and to do and to get what you're wanting to do, to take that extra class in college, to, go to a trade, if you want to become a mechanic, why can't you do that? There's never too old to do anything. If you want to be an artist, be an artist, right? Think logically, make sure that you've got your finances in order, do all that kind of stuff, but take those steps to be and do what you want to do, but make it a priority. Make it a priority. 3 priorities is what I want you to have. You should not need more than 3 priorities in life right now, right? And the priorities can change, and it's okay for you to be top priority. I'm going to say that like until I'm blue in the face. It's not only okay for you to be top priority, but a huge percentage of the time, it is better for everybody else when you are. Okay? When you are taking care of yourself, you are happy. When you are eating right, when you're exercising, when you are not as stressed, when you are living your dream of maybe, like I said, being an artist, being a mechanic, being a doctor, whatever you might think, oh my gosh, I've got this second chance. I want to be a nurse. I want to do these things. When you start reaching for those goals and you start setting those priorities for yourself, everybody in your life around you is going to get the benefit of a full you, a beautiful you, a you that doesn't feel defeated, a you that doesn't feel like I can't continue, a you that isn't stressed out every time you come home, a you that doesn't feel like there's anything more to life. Like nobody wants to be around that person, right? You don't want to be around somebody like that. You probably don't even sometimes want to be around yourself when you're feeling that way. But if you've got these top priorities and you are going for them and you are going headstrong and you are telling everybody, I am doing this for me and the rest of the time in life is for you and I need your support and I need whatever you've got for me to do it, you are going to feel amazing. Are there going to be bad days? Are there going to be hard days? Are there going to be sucky days? Absolutely. But at least you are taking the time to set your priorities and get there. And be honest with yourself. Okay. Are you starting to fall back? Are you starting not to accomplish those goals? What is going on? A lot of times writing down your goals is going to be huge. Writing down your top 3 priorities. Then write down how you're going to get there. And I have helped people so much with this as my clients. I have several clients where we talk about what are your top priorities? What are the 3? And then what are our goals going to be to get to those top priorities? You could have 2 top priorities. You could have 1 top priority right now. If you are in a space where you are so stressed out and you are so like lost and you are so like, I've lost myself, I've lost whatever, you can have just 1 priority. Like, I need to get myself back, Lori. I need to get my health back, Lori. I need to get my happiness back, Lori. I need to get whatever that is. It is okay for that to be your top priority. And again, you don't always have to say the kids or my spouse or, whatever. That doesn't have to be. It can be right now. This is my priority in life. Then we need to focus on goals. How are you going to get there? Non-negotiable. What are things that you are going to do that are non-negotiables? These aren't negotiable. If there's an emergency, if somebody's bleeding, if a bone is broken, if there's whatever, then you can maybe say, hey, I don't have to do this now, but let's create non-negotiables that are going to make it happen. Okay? So what I've done, I love to help people stay accountable. That's one of my favorite things that I love to do because I think it's such a hard thing to do. And it's such a positive when somebody messages me or emails me and says, hey, Lori, I did it. I did it. I took care of myself. I feel good. I'm exercising now. I'm doing more than I did when I was 20. Whenever I get those messages, it is such an exciting time that it just gives me goosebumps. It makes me excited for every single person in my life that is going through that and seeing the changes that can happen once you start making yourself happy and you start doing things for you. So I wanted to give everybody a health and fitness challenge for my first ever podcast. Have I talked about that yet? It's my first ever. And there's going to be more, and I'm really excited about the podcasts that are coming. But I wanted to let everybody know that we are going to be starting a challenge, and the challenge is going to be started on November 15th, 2020. So depending on when you're listening to this. And basically what it's going to be is it's going to be $10 to enter. So you're going to have a buy-in. And you're going to win the pot. Like somebody is going to actually win the pot. So the $10, all of it's going into this big pot of people who want to join the challenge. And then the winner at the end of the challenge is going to get that pot. So it's kind of fun. It gives you kind of accountability because you're like, hey, I put $10 in. It's a little bit of a buy-in, but then there's also something that you can win at the end and know that all of these people put money in because they believe in it. They think that they can do it. And it's something to help you stay accountable, stay active, and stay moving. It's so hard. And we are going into the holiday season right now. We are in November, which I feel like this year has been taken forever, but then at the same time, it's already almost Thanksgiving. So it's kind of like one of those things. And I know a lot of us are ready for 2020 to be over, but let's work together to get through the end of this year. And so what I have starting is going to be a 4-week challenge. So it's only 4 weeks. It's going to be going from November 15th through December 13th. And it's going to be, like I said, $10 to enter. Winner is going to take the pot. I want to talk about this challenge and how exciting it's going to be because what we are going to do is we are going to take initial assessments. So you're going to take an initial assessment and you're going to see how long you can hold a plank. Okay? It's all, you're going to say, set a timer, get into a plank. I'm going to show you all kinds of options of planks, everything that you can do from literally, very beginner plank all the way up into an extremely advanced plank, whatever you want to do. You're going to time yourself and see how long you do. That's it. Okay? And you're going to mark it down. Then you're going to do push-ups for 1 minute. And you're going to see how many push-ups you can get done in that minute. Then you're going to do squats for 1 minute. And you're going to see how many squats that you can do in that minute. Again, I will have modifications for everything and options for everything. So if you tell me, hey, I can't do a squat because of my knees or whatever, trust me, I have had several clients that have come to me and said, hey, Lori, thank you so much for giving me these options because I can now do squat type, either a squat type exercise or something that doesn't hurt their knees. And it works the same muscle groups. Okay. And then there's going to be burpees. And again, it's the B word. It scares everybody and you've got all these injuries or whatever. No, everybody can do a burpee and I want to show you how, and I want to show you all the different levels. But what you're going to do is see how many burpees you can do in that minute as well. You're going to try to do 3 servings of vegetables per day. So you're going to say, hey, I'm going to, and basically make sure that you're having it with lunch and dinner. Some people have them with breakfast too. But let's have 3 servings of veggies, okay? And then 70 ounces of water. So this is the challenge. It's literally, we're going to be doing plank holds every single day for 4 weeks because I want you to get stronger in your plank hold and I want you to see your timing go up as you get stronger and stronger in your planks. I'm excited for that. Then 1 day a week, you're going to have push-ups that you're going to do 1 minute of. Then the next day, you'll have squats to do. And then the next day you'll have burpees to do. And every single one of the days you're going to have those planks. So there's certain things that you're going to have to do every single day. And it's all written down for you. I've got it all written down for you in the challenge tracker. And once you complete a day, you literally go in and you say complete and you get credit for that day. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go for 4 weeks and you're going to go in and you're going to do the plank hold. You're going to do whatever exercise there is for that day. You're going to eat your veggies, your 3 servings of veggies. You're going to drink your 70 ounces of water and you're going to say complete. And not everybody's going to get every day. Some people are going to need rest days, which is completely great. Some people are going to not be, say, hey, I didn't get my water in. I didn't get this in, whatever. And that's okay to miss days. You're going to just do the best that you can. Then what we're going to do by the end of the 4 weeks, guess what we're going to do? We're going to see how much you've progressed in your push-ups in 1 minute. How many more can you do now than you could in day 1? How many more squats can you do in 1 minute than you did day 1? How many more burpees can you do? And how long of a plank can you hold now that you have been practicing for so long? So I'm excited. I'm going to put the link for the challenge. It is, like I said, $10. It goes into the pot. If you are interested, I'm going to put the link in the comments below. And for you guys to sign up, I will also put it on the podcast for everybody to get in. But I just think it's a great way. We're starting on the 15th. It's a great way for us all to stay accountable, get involved. If you need more, if you want some more, workouts, if you want some nutrition information, if you want some of those things, I am a life coach and I'm more than happy to help you with those things. We can work one-on-one, we can work in a group. Also, if you are looking for strength training, that is my specialty. I love strength training, especially for women. It is one of my specialties. And if you're needing help in that area of figuring out what to do, how to do it, any of those things, I am more than happy to talk to you about that. All you've got to do is message me, let me know if you are interested. It was so fun, guys. This was my first podcast ever. I am Coach Lori with OneLife Coaching and Wellness. I am so excited to be here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.